Alright boys, I've got the mighty Deus out here. Now I've got the 9-inch coil and I've got this HF2 elliptical. And I've got this beta version 3.03, and somebody may be wondering about this. Since these two coils use different frequency, what happens if you make a program with this coil and put in 40 kilohertz, for example, or you save a program with that coil and it's 28 kilohertz? Well, can you see each program saved with each coil paired, even though you saved it with that coil in different frequency, or vice versa? What is the answer? Well, here's two programs that were saved with the HF elliptical coil right here, okay? There's the first one. It was saved in the lower band of the HF2 coil, okay? All of the settings saved are frequency max is at 40. So it's showing 40 in the window now, okay? Here's another one that was saved with the HF2 coil right here. It's at 40. Now, I'm going to be pairing this HF2 coil in this video. That right there was saved using the 9-inch coil intentionally at 14 max band. So we're going to see where, when I pair that coil, what does it show in the window? Now that's part of this video. Here's the other part. Okay? So we're going to be looking at programs that I saved with that machine, but they turned up in here at 40 kilohertz, but I may change this frequency. So the general program is currently at speed 2, frequency max, 40 kilohertz, with a notch of 0 to 85, which gets rid of a zinking. So we've got this clad dime here, and we've got that foil. You see that? Well, how do these two coils stack up on this one test? Okay, so in the general program here, like I said, I've got it at speed 1.5. Now this is the general program. You can hear that clad dime loud and clear. Now even getting close to that foil, good two-way signal. It does stutter a little bit coming right to left, but still that's good. The sensitive program is set up identical, but remember, General uses a different ground balance system that can help with some smaller foil. So it's set up the same way. Same tones and everything. See the difference? One-way signal. Alright, back to the general program. Two-way signal. General program is in 40 max band as well. They're set up identical. Tones, disc. Okay. Now what I can do is I can dial this to 6.8 like the sensitive program, but that's not going to change anything. Okay. Let that four-wheeler get out of here. So here's the general again. Even down close to that foil, that's a speed 1.5. Here's the sensitive. You hear that? There's not much there, is there, boys? That foil is blinding this detector driving it. Now watch here, I'm going to mash the ground bounce button in the sensitive program. Now I don't have large ID selected. But you see that 31 coming in that window? It's drove the ID down, and it's hard for it to catch that dime. Unlike that general program. You hear that? Okay? So now I'm going to turn the camera off. That's not moving. Winds out here are very light. I'm going to pair that coil. Now remember, This program here was saved in 14 kilohertz using this coil. We're going to see what it looks like on that coil, and we're going to test that coil using that program and that program that I made using that coil. Now you get to see it there. You see it shows 40. That's the general saved in, see there, prefix 1 general showing 40, and here's the other program showing 40. So will that number change to the way I said it when we power that coil? So let me turn the camera off. Alright boys, we've got the almighty HF2 coil powered up. Okay, so now that program there was showing 40 kilohertz that I created using this coil. See what it shows now? 29, which is how I saved it originally. This program here was the same way. It shows 29. Now here's a program that was saved in 14 kilohertz using the fast multi-frequency coil. What does it show on here? It shows 29. Now, I've not done an experiment to see what happens if I save one on that at 24. What does it show on here with this coil? I don't know. Not yet. Okay, so here's the general program. Okay, I'll even dial the Deus to 6.8. That's not going to matter in this test. But we'll dial it there, okay? And we're in 2 tones of highest pitch notches, which is what you've heard using that 9-inch fast multi-frequency coil. Now there's that old Zinken. I'm notched to 88. Now the notch is different. I notched to 86 using that coil, the 40 max band, sensitive in general. On this coil, I've notched to 88 in these 2 programs, which is general and a sensitive save program. Okay, so you see the same notch. So we're going to go back here. This is the general with the 88 notch speed 1.5. So that clearly outperforms that coil in the sensitive program, notching that Zinken. Okay, now we're in the sensitive program. What does it do? Struggles, don't it? You notice that? One-way signal. A little two-way. Okay? So the general program and that foil on this machine can help. Okay? Now if I hold the coil up a little bit, you hear a little two-way signal coming in there. Okay? So on that test right there, is there a clear winner? Using either the general or the fast, notching out that Zinken. Now, we're going to stay in this sensitive program for just a moment, and we're going to go over here. Let's turn this reactivity down to 0. What happens here with this sensitive program? It's a monster signal coming off that right side. Okay, and I've got 93 in the meter. All right. Let's see. Reactivity 0. Using the general program. 99. I'm real close to that foil. Okay. Maybe you couldn't see that in that camera. Okay, I hit that foil, moved it a little bit there. But anyway, there's a little gee whiz for you. And now remember, this coil's footprint is narrower. Okay? And I guess what I could do, since I've got this camera on, I won't set a notch up. There's 8.8. We're going to turn the speed down on this thing. Let's look at 1.5. So we're hearing that high tone out there. You hear that? Even though I haven't set a notch up in this machine. Here's the old Zekin. I'm running the notch up as we speak. .86 notch. So we're getting one-way signal there. What about a 2.5 reactivity? Worse. Usually around modern trash, you don't want to be running too fast, okay? And that even goes for that coil over there. What about a 0 reactivity? So we get one-way signal, okay? So that might be enough for you to turn on that. You see what I'm saying? You hear that? That's going to conclude the video there, boys and girls.